Joining me, Rajat Sethi, political analyst, Yogendra Yadav, co-founder, Swaraj India, Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson, BJP, Tausif Rahman, spokesperson, TMC. I'd like to begin with you, Mr. Bhandari. Now, with what the TMC has accused the EC of, the TMC has approached the top court of the country. We can go point by point on the apprehensions that the EC has raised. But the larger question, Pradeep Bhandari, is that maybe this whole exercise is being rushed. And why I say that is because the EC's pause on hearing for wrongly unmapped voters due to technical errors has been cited as an issue by the TMC as evidence of what the TMC feels as acute mismanagement. Now, how does this glitch somewhere down the line reflect on the necessity of S.I.R. To clean rolls inflated by what bogus voters is what the EC suggests, especially in the time frame allotted?
Well, Preeti, first of all, the questions which are directed to the Election Commission to be answered by the Election Commission, and the petition of the Trinamool Congress is in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is
Pradeep Bhandari,
well
would you
in
correct
its,
your audio? We are having a bit of a problem with your audio. Would you correct that, and we're going to come right back to you because there's a problem with your audio link. Let Pradeep correct that. I want to cut across to Rajat. Would you want to take that question? Because the EC itself has paused the hearing for wrongly unmapped voters. They are saying that there is a problem with some conversion of PDF, but there is a procedural issue.
See, you are operating at extensive scales. Also, you need to double click into the process as to what all has the Election Commission done in the run-up while there was an initial deadline. The initial reports when it came about that nearly 3 crore voters were deleted, then the authorities said that, okay, let us give additional time. And then, more weeks were given. After, in that window, when it was realized that certain polling booths were crossing the threshold of 1,000 voters, around 1,500 new polling booths were also created. This was all done to revisit the exercise and to ensure that there are absolutely no voters which have been deleted just because of the over pressure on the BLO or BLO not being able to go to that household for the mandatory 3 times. All of this was established. But I think the only problem in this analysis is that we are starting with something sinister. We're starting with that assumption. Instead of that, we are not interpreting it in a way that people have actually moved out of the state of UP. There are already around 50 lakh voters which are presumed dead here. There is also a certain set of voters which have moved out, and there is another set of voters broadly categorized where the reasons for the dip in these voters are articulated. And by the way, this is still not final. March is a timeline when you can still, if first the draft would be published. If there are voters who have been missed out, they still have the opportunity. They still have 2 months. But there is a method to madness. You cannot have completely ad hoc and give years and years and years of time in a day and age when we claim that things should move digital. Things should be done using the techniques and should be in a compressed timeline. I mean, how is it normal? I was hearing Qureshi say that it is normal to do it over several years.
Okay, Rajat, I'm going to come back to you also because you also need to correct your internet connection. We are losing your video. Your audio is perfect, but there's a problem with your video. I want to bring in Yogendra Yadav into this conversation with what Rajat said, Yogendra Yadav, that there are people who have moved out, so these deletions shouldn't really be surprising. But I'd like to take our viewers through the deletions that have actually happened state by state. In Bihar, before S.I.R, there were 7.89 crores voters. Post S.I.R, that dropped to 7.42 crores. There was a deletion of 47 lakhs. In Uttar Pradesh, there has been a deletion now of 2.89 crores, where before S.I.R, the voter list had 44 crore voters. Now it has 12.55 crore voters. Vis-a-vis West Bengal, there's been a drop of about 58 lakh voters. Do you think it's just people have just moved out? There hasn't been purification of voter rolls for so long, or do you think this is a systematic way of undermining electoral fairness by disenfranchisement?
Preeti, I wish to begin by reminding us that what we have witnessed today, namely an exclusion of 2.89 lakh voters, is unprecedented in human history, not just Indian history, not just Indian electoral history. Nowhere in the world has this scale of exclusion of voters ever taken place. We are speaking something very important. Number two, one simple way of judging, and that's something I've been saying over and over again, that, the first presumption can be, all right, there were too many voters, maybe they were wrong voters, maybe the list was originally inflated. One simple way of checking that is to ask, what is the adult population of Uttar Pradesh today? Now you have those figures. Before S.I.R, we had 15.45 crore people there. What was the population of UP at that point? 16 crore 6 lakhs. These are not my figures, Preeti. These are figures of Government of India Population Projection Committee. So if there was a fair S.I.R, the number should have gone up from 15 crore 45 lakhs to something closer to 16 crores. And what do we have? It has come down to 12.65 crores. Now, responding to what Rajat said, it would have been a fair assumption 6 months ago. You may say, okay, Bihar has too many people leaving Bihar. Uttar Pradesh is also an out-migration state. But fortunately, Preeti, now we have in front of us data from in-migration states, which are and these are not my classifications, these are classifications of Niti Aayog of India. In-migration states are Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. Can you please show your viewers the figures from Gujarat and Tamil Nadu? Gujarat has had a deletion of 73.7 lakhs voters. Yeah. That's right. Tamil Nadu has had a deletion of 97 lakh. These are in-migration states. So the argument about out-migration falls flat. And may I also mention something very, very interesting and scandalous, Preeti? At the time when ECI has conducted an extensive revision of intensive revision of voters list in Uttar Pradesh, exactly at that same time, another constitutional body, namely State Election Commission of Uttar Pradesh, has prepared fresh electoral rolls for panchayat elections. They also carried out extensive revision in which 1.4 crore voters were deleted, 1.8 were added. And Preeti, what is the figure? According to Election Commission of India figures released this evening, the whole of UP has 12.4 crore voters, or 12.56 crore voters. And according to State Election Commission of Uttar Pradesh, figures released on 5th of December, the rural Uttar Pradesh alone has 12.7 crore voters.
All right, so you're saying there are lots of... So lots of anomalies and variations there, which what Yogendra Yadav is pointing out, and he's just talking about in the number of deletions that have taken place. Okay, we have Pradeep Bhandari back with us. Pradeep Bhandari, I want to bring you back in. He's laughing, but Pradeep Bhandari, it is, one really does need to look into the sheer deletion that has happened in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Nearly 3 crore voters have been deleted, which is a deletion of nearly 19%, where we are talking about the voters of the state of Uttar Pradesh. There have been deletions right from the state of Gujarat, from Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, and, the numbers are big. That's one aspect of it. The other, of course, is the charge that has been laid by the TMC, where the TMC has gone to the top court. It's something that the BJP always said, that, approach the courts. They've gone to the top court with a list which they feel are grave anomalies in the way the EC is carrying out the S.I.R. process. And a big charge there is that the use of artificial intelligence, where the EC is colluding with the BJP IT cell to delete names.
Well, with the speaker before me will find everything scandalous till the time he sees Rahul Gandhi becoming the Prime Minister, which will not happen in his lifetime or my lifetime. Let us just state certain facts. This is the same pattern which was followed in Bihar elections. And before the Bihar elections, where certain articles by the speaker, by Trinamool, by RJD in the Congress was written, when the entire matter went to the Supreme Court, the primacy and the principle of the petition was that S.I.R. should be stayed, and it was rejected in the court. And not more than 20 names could be produced, where claims were made that crores of voters and lakhs of voters were deleted from Bihar. After the elections were finished in Bihar, neither the RJD or the Congress could even produce a single fact which proved that the election was rigged or the S.I.R. was favoring the Bharatiya Janata Party. What is the fact right now? The fact right now is that at present the Trinamool Congress has 77,867 BLAs. Now the BLAs are individuals who are being appointed by various political parties on the booth, if gentlemen here do not know about it. And the BLAs have only till now put 3 applications for inclusion, and there have been 0 applications for exclusion. The Election Commission has given at least more than a month of time, whereas the Trinamool Congress believes, or any party including ours believe, that the process is favoring us or the PMC, we can approach the court or we can approach the Election Commission. So this whole narrative of creating a hysteria, creating doubt in the mind of voters failed in Bihar and it will also fail in Bengal. Now, what is the truth in Bengal? The truth in Bengal is there is an electoral officer, C. Murugan, who goes to inspect and the Trinamool Congress goons and gundas try to encircle him and there is an S.I.R. which is registered. What is the truth? The truth is that whether it is Abhishek Banerjee or Mamata Banerjee, they have claimed that the S.I.R. process is a process which they will not allow because it favors the BJP, and they will even go to the extent of breaking the legs of the electoral officer. Now, the law and order is in the state subject. So what we are here saying is that if the Trinamool Congress believes that the matter is favoring us, please go to the court. Now they've gone to the court. Let them present the facts in front of the court.
Okay.
It's the same pattern that each political party follows. They will present certain technical arguments. The technical arguments backed by technicalities without having an iota of fact. And this is why it is rejected by the court. And this is why I ask you that at the present moment, in Uttar Pradesh, your argument is that so many voters are deleted. The voters are even deleted from places where the Bharatiya Janata Party has won. So if we believe that if one of our voter or a genuine voter is removed, RBLA will go and apply in Form 6 or in Form 7. If the Samajwadi Party believes that its voter is removed, it will apply in Form 7.
Pradeep Bhandari, where that is
Why do you
concerned,
want
it's
to
not
create-
about
Yes.
just the Samajwadi Party voters being removed. It's a
What is the
basic
fact?
question of
The basic
disenfranchisement.
question
That is what is
what-
the question.
No, my argument, Preeti, is that the basic question was also
Okay.
put in the Bihar electoral process. But when the entire matter went to the Supreme Court, Mr. Yadav could not even present a certain fact beyond
Okay,
20
I'll
voters.
cut across to
He was
Yogendra
claiming
Yadav.
lakhs
Before
of
that, I
voters.
want to bring in the TMC spokesperson. Allow me to do that, to bring in the TMC spokesperson into this conversation. One of the charges is also, viewers, that why the TMC has mooted the AI theory at the behest of the BJP IT cell colluding with the EC, is where they have given names like cricketer Mohammad Shami, who's now been called for a hearing with the EC on S.I.R, on Amartya Sen and some Bengali actors. But I want to bring in Tausifur Rahman. Basically, with your petition filed today by the TMC, by your leader Derek O'Brien, seems to suggest, and if I go point by point, Mr. Rahman, that the EC, and that's huge, has acted outside the purview of the law and has followed arbitrary procedures during conducting the S.I.R exercise in West Bengal. That's a huge charge.
Good evening, Preeti ji, and good evening to everyone. Preeti ji, our concern is very deep, and this concern is not coming up from the moon. I mean, it's there on the ground. Whatever the BJP wants to say, but they will not speak against the EC because, chor chor musere bhai, so it's very simple, So Derek O'Brien has moved to the Supreme Court because the Election Commission has become a WhatsApp commission. I've told you before as well. I mean, operating through informal channel with zero accountability. Critical instruction and warnings are being issued exclusively through WhatsApp. You tell me, who does this? From WhatsApp, you want to delete the names of Indian citizens, bypassing formal statutory communication system. This makes an audit trial impossible and absolves decision makers of the accountability, Preeti ji. How can a constitutional body abandon formal documentation and operate like a private chat group? I'll show you the proof. I mean, I won't go away from your show. I can show you the proof. The All India Trinamool Congress has urged the Supreme Court to declare all such informal WhatsApp instruction illegal and direct the ECI to use only formal statutory channels for all the communication. I mean, are we asking much from the Election Commission? I mean, once upon a time, we were proud of a democracy. Now it has become a hypocrisy. The ECI deleted 58.20 lakh, to be precise, voters without any notice or personal hearing, causing voter number to drop from 7.66 crore to 7.08 crore. Mass deletion, Preeti ji. Mass deletion, nearly 60 lakh citizens without notice violates natural justice and democratic rights.
Sir, please allow,
wait,
there's
don't
no
run.
point talking over each other. You were allowed, time.
Yes.
Give the same
अब
courtesy.
अब प्रीति जी, आप मुझे ये बताइए, the ECI's own memo admits their flawed digitization of 2002 rolls created widespread systematic errors in voter data mapping. नहीं मानेंगे ये लोग. But this is coming from EC itself. They created an extra statutory logical discrepancy category unique to Bengal that will send notice to 1.36 crore. Pradeep ji,
Okay.
1.36 crore voters based on spelling variations and algorithm errors, all without and written guidelines. Without written
All right,
guidelines.
okay. I'm going to come back to you, Mr. Rahman. I want to bring in Rajat Sethi back into this conversation, and we'll go to Yogendra Yadav right after that. Rajat Sethi, nobody's saying that, the same argument that was applied to Bihar as well, that don't conduct the S.I.R. Conduct it, but conduct it fairly, give it time so that everything gets sorted out. There's no fear-mongering. And the reason for that, and it's playing out right now in West Bengal, where the EC has paused the hearing for wrongly unmapped voters. What the EC has said, this is a technical error because of translation of a PDF file. Now, if there are technical errors and you're dealing with a deadline of 30 days, why that? Just give more time so every possible question, every possible apprehension can be ironed out.
Preeti ji, what is comfortable time according to you? Do you have a number? And have you not gone in with a simple thing where, work has a nature of filling the space that is there? Whatever timeline you will give, work will be done towards closer to the deadline. That is, we are all habitual to that. Therefore, I'm asking to you, what is an optimal timeline? 2 months, 3 months? Tell that. And by the way, while it was being wrongly asserted by the TMC spokesperson here, these are not the final lists. These are the draft lists. Again, you can, there is a window of 2-3 months which has been given around which you can file that, right? And then thereafter, also, if there are issues, you can still approach the Election Commission through the due process. But if you want to tear aside all due processes and come out with your idiosyncratic view of how things should be, that is up to you. The world doesn't work by that logic. The world is not TMC, and TMC is not the world. So all I'm saying here is, if there are alternate approaches, alternate timelines that you believe that, say, a 25 crore population or a 15-16 crore population of UP can be dealt with, please suggest. And then I can assure you the Election Commission will possibly listen to it.
Okay, all right. So what's the solution? Yogendra Yadav, please come in. I have little time. I want to bring in all three of you at the back of it. Mr. Yadav.
The solution is what the Election Commission itself has done in the case of Assam. Actually, unfortunately, no one in this country has noticed. In 12 states, one method was used, S.I.R, which is to say enumeration forms and all the certificates and papers. Every single state has seen massive deletions. In Assam, a different method was used, house-to-house physical verification, additions and deletions. The result is, after additions and deletions, 0% exclusion. Assam provides the answer. It's a ready-made answer. It's a classic physical verification. Yes, intensive revision is needed. Yes, serious, thorough revision of voters list is a good idea, but S.I.R carries a design defect. And the defect is such that wherever you take S.I.R, it will always lead to exclusion. It will always lead to decline in gender ratio, something which we have established. May I point out, Preeti, that I had presented 3 facts. None of them have been refuted so far. Number 1, that it is the largest ever exclusion in the history of the world. Number 2, that this is not borne out by the population figures. It should have actually gone up instead of coming down. And number 3, it is exactly the opposite of what another constitutional authority has done in the state of Uttar Pradesh. All these 3 point out to a massive problem that we are looking at.
Okay.
And in fact, it's not me, it is the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh who had expressed deep disappointment 10 days ago, saying 4 crore voters are being deleted. I'm no fan of Mr. Yogi, but it's the Chief Minister, who I'm sure my 2 friends may not wish to disagree with, who has said that this is a problem. So 4 crore voters, less than the population figures would suggest, is, may I suggest, a serious problem.
All right, Pradeep Bhandari, there are valid questions that Yogendra Yadav has raised, and that's the reason why give it time so that each and every question can be answered fairly and there is satisfaction. Nobody does not want the S.I.R to be conducted. They just want it to be conducted in a manner which seems free of bias, even if there is no bias.
Well, Preeti, do you agree at least that neither you, me, or Mr. Yadav or Rajat or Trinamool Congress is the best judge out here when the Supreme Court has heard the matter or is hearing the matter? These were the precise arguments, the similar arguments which were made in Bihar. What was the conclusion of Bihar? post the elections in Bihar after the S.I.R was conducted, have you seen Mr. Yadav going to the court and saying that it was a mass exclusionary exercise, it should be declared illegal, it should be declared wrong, it should not be done in this manner? No. If they believe that the exercise is being conducted wrongfully in Bengal, please go to the court. Please present your arguments. Why is it that whenever you go to the court and present your arguments on a principal level, all of those stand rejected? You are not able to produce more than 20 such cases where there is a procedural error. It is absolutely wrong to think that it will lead to a loss of gender ratio.
Okay.
Please see the voting percentage in Bihar. Point number 3, I'll tell you the real issue. The real issue is it is but natural that S.I.R will have exclusion because you have so many illegal voters. You will have sort of voters who are dead voters. You have voters who are shifted. It is but natural that the revision of voters cannot lead to inclusion. It will obviously lead to exclusion. And this is not what I am saying. This is what has happened in the past. And if you do not believe me, please present the argument. And in fact, not me. It's the booth level agent of every political party who's working there with the BLO, presenting the cases at the BLO, including the Trinamool Congress, who agrees with it. This is why these netas who sit in the studios, including my dear friend Tausif and me, we will present a narrative which favors our party. But the ground reality is accepted by the BLAs. This is why you see he speaks about 58 lakh voters.
I want to bring in Mr. Rahman. Pradeep Bhandari, allow me to bring in Mr. Rahman, and then I'll try to go for 10 seconds to all of you. Allow me, sir, allow me to go to, Mr. Yadav, I know you want to come in, but allow me to bring in Mr. Rahman, and I'll try and give all of you 10 seconds after that. Mr. Rahman, go ahead.
Preeti ji, this is the problem. It's not about narrative. The Trinamool Congress wants to show any narrative or throw any narrative on BJP. The AITC seeks extension of the January 15 deadline for claims and objection, postponement of final roll publication, and elimination of this arbitrary logical disparity category. The ECI is disparity against Bengal. Arey, क्या बात कर रहे हो आप प्रदीप भंडारी जी? अरे नैरेटिव किस बात का?
Pradeep ji, I'll come back to you. Allow him to make his point. He gave you unfettered rights. No, sir. Allow him. I'll come back to you. Please don't interrupt. Make your point. Mr. Rahman, you have 20 seconds. Sir, make your point.
We are asking Election Commission for the transparency. The ECI is also restraining booth-level agents from assisting voters during hearings in Bengal, despite the Supreme Court's order to the contrary in the Bihar S.I.R matter. लीजिए बिहार की बात मैंने कर दिया. So you are lying daylight, boss. आप साफ झूठ बोल रहे हो टीवी पे.
All right, I'm going to come to all of you for 10 seconds each. I think Rajat Sethi, we don't have him there, but Mr. Yadav, go ahead, sir. Make your point. You wanted to come in for
I just wanted to clarify that the Supreme Court of India has not given any order whatsoever on this issue. They have not rejected any of those things, unless the person here happens to have some secret order which I have not seen. And incidentally, it's a contempt of court to attribute it orders that they have not given.
Okay. All right. Pradeep Bhandari.
Well, Mr. Yadav again here is lying. Mr. Yadav and the entire applications went for a stay on the S.I.R. The Supreme Court denied any stay on the S.I.R. Post the conduct of the Bihar election, there has not been a single observation of the Supreme Court which is contravention to what I have been saying, that the entire exercise in Bihar has been free and fair. Mr. Tausif is lying because he knows that once the S.I.R exercise is completed, that voters, illegal infiltrators that the
Mr. Rahman,
will be
20
out of
seconds,
the
sir. Actually, 15 seconds. Mr. Rahman, make your point.
I mean, you said I will have the last word.
No. When you are restraining booth-level agents from assisting voters during hearing in Bengal, despite the Supreme Court order, the ECI engaged a private vendor with a checkered contrary.
Stop lying.
I mean, look at the history.
I'm going to just let it be because now it's going to come into a shouting match. I'm going to let it be. I appreciate all three of you for joining us. Thank you. But what we will do and endeavor to do is put the spotlight on the special intensive role revision exercise that is being conducted in the state of West Bengal, and the numbers that are coming in of deletion from the state of Uttar Pradesh, which by the looks of it is very, very high, 3 crores. Leave it at that.